How to create a digital planner in Affinity Publisher. Hi, Kerry here from Dream Creator Bee, and welcome to my channel where we show you how to make money online with low content products like KDP low content books, printables, and digital planners. In this video, I am going to show you how to actually make this digital planner, or more, it's a digital journal because I haven't put any dates or any links to any calendars or diaries or anything like that. I just want to show you the basic way of going about and setting up, and then you can take it further. So let's dig in and let's actually start. So before we set up our documents, these are the properties that I actually used. I got them all from Creator Fabrica. Sometimes you can get great deals from Creator Fabrica. I think they're doing one now where you can pay for the year for $59. It only appears in your profile. Some people get it, some people haven't been getting it. But if you're the lucky ones, maybe you can jump on and get it. As you can see, it says commercial use allowed. I've chosen that pink one there, but there are plenty of others to choose from. I also got my coils from Creator Fabrica because I needed to speed up. I didn't want to be making any in this video. And then I got these colourful wooden backgrounds as well from Creator Fabrica. I'll leave all the links down in the description for you to go and check them out. So let's get started. So the first thing we actually need to do is set up our document. Now, do not get caught up in the size or anything like that. You need to design for yourself, for your own size. I have tested my size on GoodNotes on an iPad that's using iPad Pro and is also the big 12-inch iPad, and it works pretty well. If you were designing for a mobile phone, then you would have to bring your size down, no doubt. So let's dig in and let's go. So File and New. I'm not going to use any of these presets. Actually, as you can see, I've got one here that starts with 12 inches. I'm going to change that to 9 inches. And I do want it landscape because that's the design I'm doing. Remember, you can do them portrait, landscape, any way you feel. I'm also doing preferred linked because this can get a big document. I also want it in inches, and that is something that really annoys me about Affinity. I think it's because it's a European company, but anyway, it chooses to default to millimeters even though I want it in inches. That would have been a bit strange. I've also want a default master page as well. I've taken off facing pages, and I do actually know how many pages I want. I actually want like a cover page, so that's one page, and then I also want 12 months, so that's 12 pages, and I want them as their own sort of tabs, and I could change them. And I also want to give 5 extra pages, so basically it's 12 times 6 to get the months and then an extra one. So 12 times 6 is 72 plus 1 is 73. So that's what I need. So I might as well put them in straight away. 73. Well, I remember everything. 12, 9, Oh, and I'm also going for the color space RGB 32. Remember, this is a digital planner. If I was doing for KDP, obviously these sizes would be totally different. DPI would be different, and my color space would be CMYK. I've also done include margins 0.5. That just helps me to measure things out. So I'm going to click create. So here we are, we're on our first page. We need to actually make sure we're on the master page to do the main designs. I find it a lot easier to create a lot of different master pages and then apply them to the specific pages. Again, we're only doing a very simple one. So the first thing I'm going to start with in Affinity Publisher is I'm going to use this picture frame rectangle tool, and I'm just going to take it all the way across my first part of my image. And there we go. Now I'm going to go to my folder, and I'm actually going to drag in my wood that I want to do, and it's straight in. It's exactly where I want it to be. If I wanted to make it bigger or smaller, I can just do this with this here. It stretches it, makes it bigger or smaller. I'm just going to go back to where I want it so that it fits, and you can also move your image about using those there. Then the next part that we want to do is we want to put another picture frame on top of this one, and you can actually lock this one as well by clicking on the lock button. And again, I'm going to draw this out so it's like above here. So it's giving me my back cover, basically. So I'm going to lot there. And you can measure them out if you want to be exact. Now, I think I might be going a bit bigger than that. So I'm going to actually go 11.8. So it is a lot bigger. And height wise, because I was 9, I'm going to go 8.8, I think. And then I want to move this, and I'm going to go 0.125, I think. Yep, so that gives me like an edge at this side here. So I can actually still see a bit of the wood background in there. And then I'm going to do the same for this height here. So that they're about the same. So I'm happy with that. I'm also going to change the corners so that they've rounded. And I'm going to reduce that to about 3%. 5% looks pretty cool. Yeah. Then I'm going to grab my pink one that I use, and I'm just going to slot that in. And as you can see, that goes to the right size that I want exactly. So that's the next stage. So that's my background. That's my cover background that you'll see. I'm going to make sure that this snapping is on, and it is. And then I'm going to go for picture frame. I'm going to go on my margin, which was 0.5, and then I'm going to stretch all the way down. And I'm going to do that one, and then I'm just going to hold my Alt button down, make sure I'm on the move tool, hold the Alt button down, and then just drag, and then that should give me that one there. And that is not quite the right size. I don't think that one is either. I want it to snap to 6. Yeah, and I want this one to snap to 6 as well. There we go. So that's the right size now. Now I'm going to go in and actually just draw a rectangle and put it inside that picture frame. So if it doesn't go in that picture frame, I just need to drag it inside, and that now goes in there and fits exactly how I want it. And again, I'm going to draw another rectangle out. In fact, I'm going to just click off of that because it's going to go in that picture frame. So I want it in that one. I'm going to draw this out. And I'm just going to stretch it. And again, I'm just going to drag it into here. And as you can see, I've dragged it with an indent. So those are my 2 pages there. Now I need to make them actually stand out a bit. So to do that, you use effects. So you click on your first picture frame. On your layers panel, you have FX, which is layer effects. And then you can select from here. So I want my outer shadow first. So I actually need to click on the checkbox to actually make it work, and also click on it there. Then I'm going to leave my opacity at 50%. I'm going to leave my blend mode as multiple. I'm actually going to take this up to about 28 pixels. And then the next one, I'm going to make that about 19 pixels. I might up that a little bit. And then my intensity is about 38%. And then you should actually see like some shadows just starting to pop off there. Might make that one a little bit. In fact, if I go with the intent, you'll see intent there. But the problem is my angle is not right. So let me just go back to, I'll make that 20, I think. My angle actually needs to be 180. So you can see it that side of the page. And again, if I put the intensity up, you can actually now see that that goes somewhere like that. So if I bring that back down, 38. I'm quite happy with that. I've also got an inner shadow because I want this here to have like it looks like it's a bend in the book. So I go to inner shadow, click on it, and as you can see now it changes. Again, I want my opacity at 50%, but this time I want my angle to be at 0 because I want it to be inside. And then I want just a little radius here, 0.8 seems to work, and then 3.4 worked last time for me. And then my intensity was about 36%. And then it just looks like it's now got a curve. If I take that off and just click somewhere else, you can see that it's got a slight different look to it to the other one. So now I need to go onto the other one and put FX. Again, I need an outer shadow, which I'm on. Again, I want 28 pixels there. I want about 19 here. And I want 38 here. And I want this one going to 0. So you can actually see the shadow now is that way. Then I'm going to go into the inner shadow and do the exact same thing, except my shadow is going to go 180. So it's just the opposite. 0.8, 0.8, 3.4. And then 36. And that's my close. So that is the shadows done. That's our pages done. That's everything like that done. So we're going to add our gold coils into our design. So what we now need to do is we need to add an extra layer. So I'm just going to click on this layer button at the bottom. I'm actually going to go to my folder that's got them in, and I'm going to, so this is my folder, I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to make sure I'm actually on that layer. And then right click, paste. And that's now brought that in onto my new layer. So I can actually now take that out of that layer and get rid of that one. Okay, it was just to help me do it. Sometimes it works better with you just copying and pasting, but it also goes into the picture frames, which can be annoying. So now we need to resize this. So I've clicked on the move tool, which is the black arrow, or you could have used the shortcut, which is V on your keyboard. So I'm just going to maneuver this so it goes a bit smaller. And then I'm going to drag it and put it in between these two. And then I want about 20 of these. So I'm just going to go Command J until I get 20 of them. So I'm just going to move that one across. Or I could have just done Alt and drag, and then I can move them. So I've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I'm going to put 20 there. Now I know none of them seem to be in any order or anything. That doesn't matter. We're going to use the align tools to get it right. Then I'm going to make sure I've selected the first one. I'm going to hold the shift button down on my layers. I'm going to go to this one here, making sure that I've got all of these selected and that they're all blue. Then I'm going to go to align, and I'm going to align in the center so that they're all in that center mark there. And then I'm going to space vertically, and then they're all about the same size. And then I'm going to click apply. So I'm actually going to move that up a little bit. That's better. And now I'm actually going to group all of those. So I'm going to go Command G or Control G to actually group. So those are all the grouping ones done there. Okay, so we now need some tabs. So what we want is 12 tabs basically, just for the months. Again, not doing anything fancy, not doing an index page, not doing any blank pages or anything like that, nor am I doing it where it switches from one page to the other. I'm just doing very simple to show you what to do. So I'm going to choose a rectangle. If your rectangle tool's not chosen, just click on that little tab there and then go to the rectangle. I'm going to just draw a size out. I am also going to change that colour. So for now, I'm just going to choose that purple one there. And then I'm going to go up here. So it's tabbed in a bit. I'm also going to put the corner on round that. Not as much as 25%, probably as much as 15%. And bring it a little bit down. I don't want it so far in there. Again, I can bring this up a bit, but I like a decent size so I can use it as a when I'm creating the hyperlinks. So again, we're going to copy. So again, you can use Alt and drag or Command J or Control J to duplicate, and then we want 12. So I've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Again, we haven't got enough space. So 11, 12, which is no good. So we need to actually grab a hold of all of these. So I need to click on the top one, click on the bottom one. Well, being on my layers, what I can do is I can start to just drag them all in so that they're a bit better size and actually fit in. And again, we can do align. So I'm not going to align any of those. I'm just interested in the vertical so that they're all spaced about right. I'm going to click apply. And again, I'm going to just move them up a bit. And we've got a problem. We've got some that's not aligned right. So we're going to align again. This time I'm going to align them to the right. And then because now I know they're all aligned, I'm going to bring them back in. And that's how you do that. Now, I'm going to group these again. Command G or Control G. So group those, but I do actually want them below my 2 picture frames. And I'm keeping, as I'm dragging it, I'm keeping it so that it's not indented. It's more over to the right hand side so it doesn't go inside that picture frame. So that is our tabs. Obviously, we'd like different colors. Now you can go and create your own swatches, which I did here. I created my pink glitter swatches, and all I did was I got the different color switches from there. So how do you do that? If you click on swatches and then click on this drop down, so I'm just going to bring this in a bit so you can actually see it. I can get rid of that as well. So when I go into there, we can now add one to our document palette or one to our application palette. So I'm going to use a document palette, and then you can click on here and rename this. So rename the palette, and then I'm just going to put YouTube example, and then I'm going to click OK. Then what I want is I need to add a color here, and then I can click on there. I can then go and choose my color picker, and it'll bring the color there, and I just add it here and it brings that there. So I can actually get rid of that one as well, or I can just select there. And then again, color picker tool, we'll select that yellow, and again I can add that there, And then I can go for another pink. And again, add that there. And that's how you build your color tools. And as you can see, it's changed them all because that's what I've got selected. So you just go into the individual one, click on it, and then you can go and change your color. So we can change that to that just to show you. And then you go on the next one and then click on that, and that changes that. So I'll just zoom back out so you can actually see what is happening. And then there's some of the colors. So that's what we can do. So I'm going to actually use the ones that I've selected. So I'm going to go pink ones here. I want that dark one. In fact, I've got it at the bottom there. Didn't want that at the bottom. So let me go back down. Right, so I'm at the top now. Dark. Next one, I think I want that colour. I don't, I want that one. And that one. And that one. That one. And how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I'll go back 1. And that's it. So again, I'm just going to zoom out so you can actually see. I'm also going to use my hand tool. So H on your keyboard brings the hand tool there. So you can actually now see where I've got. Now we've also got a problem. Those tabs don't stand out. So what we can do is we can also give them an effect. So we can do an outer shadow again. We can go 1, 0, and then we can bring it up. And then I'm going to click close. So that is all our tabs now created. I haven't got any text on them or any hyperlinks, but again, that's an easy enough thing. We're going to use the artistic text tool, and then I'm just going to drag that out and type Jan. And I've got it in this group, which is no good. So I need to just drag it out and put it there. So now you can actually see it. I'm also going to rotate that to -90 so that it sort of turns the text that way. And then I'm just going to move that there. And now I'm going to duplicate. So Command J again, or Control J. And then again, I can use my Alt and just keep dragging down. And now we've got all Janes. So I need to go in and change the different ones. So I double click, make sure I'm on the artistic text tool, double click, that takes me inside there, and I can go Feb. Same with this one, double click, March, double click, April. What else have I used? Capital letter, May. And December. Then I'm going to select all of those, and again we're going to align them. So again I'm going to align them to that top one there, and then I want to distribute them equally. I'm going to click apply, and again I'm going to click on the move tool or press V, and then just move them down again. Might have to change some of these. Distribute again. Okay, so some of them are not where I want them to be. So I'll just move that down a bit. Same with that one, down a bit. And sometimes it is just a case of eyeballing. And I'm using my keyboard keys again because sometimes it's just easier than trying to use your mouse. Okay, so that is all of that done. Now we just need to put our links in. So where do we put everything in? So first page, this one here, is going to be our cover. So I'm just going to write the word cover so we know that. Then the second page is actually going to be January. And then our next page needs to be 4 pages after that. So our February, I'm just getting my notes. February is going to be 8, so it's 6 pages after. So on the 8th page, so I'm going to go down here in this corner and I'm going to type 8, and then it's going to take me to page 8. As you can see, it's highlighted here in this grey. Again, I'm going to type Feb. And again, my next one is 14. And it's took me down to 14. And again, I am going to type March. Next one is 20. Hang on. 20. Enter. Make sure I'm on it. April. Next one is 26. May. Next one is 32. Enter. June. Next one is 38. And that is July. $44. And that one is August. Next one is 50. And then press enter. 50. And that is September. And next one is October, which is 56. October. November is 62. And December is 68. And again, December. I know some of these are not the same size, but it was just so that we can add our hyperlinks again in the master one. So if we go back onto the master one, and I'm going to group all of these dates. So Control G to group them. And then I'm going to go back into our tabs. And the first one, so to get to hyperlinking, you need to click on the item that you're going to hyperlink. I'm only going to hyperlink the tab and not the text, but it's the same way of hyperlinking. So you click on text on your menu bar for one way, and then you go interactive, insert hyperlink, and then you put your page in, which is in our case page 2. So you see that you need to actually get all your pages in first before you start hyperlinking, because you'll then have to change your hyperlink if you move your pages around. So it's a good idea to write them down or put them in a spreadsheet. Then again, for this one, rounded rectangle, another way of doing it is right clicking on the rectangle and you'll see it says interactive. You insert that there, and then you would go to that page there, which in this case is page 8. And then again, hyperlink it, interactive, insert hyperlink, and this one again is page 14. Now there is a shortcut when you go to text and interactive. You'll see that in the Windows version it does tell you a shortcut, but it doesn't tell you that in the Mac version. And you can also go and see if that hyperlink works by clicking on go to hyperlink text, and we can see that that's took us to March. So I can actually go in there and finish that title. So we know that that one works. So I've done, hang on, 1, 2, 3. Now on that one, and again, text, interactive, insert hyperlink, and that is 20. So I'm going to speed through these so you can actually see me doing them, but I'm not going to talk. Okay, so that is all the hyperlinks done. I made a mistake with the August one. I actually clicked on the text first and it popped up to the text, so you need to remember to keep checking those out. So that is our main master done. Now there's different things that you can do. You can actually add a duplicate master. So we can go into duplicate here, and then you can actually add extra things. So we could do like change the color for like January, and this master here we can also rename it. Click on it, we can call this our month tab, and this one we can call our interior. And then on every month you can right click here and go to apply master, and then change this to a month tab and click OK. Now, why have I done that? Because I can actually go in to the month tab. So I need to make sure I'm on January, and I can actually go into this picture frame here. I can select the color picker tool and select January and put that there. And again, I can go here and I can select the next one to put January there as well. In fact, I'm not on the right one, I'm on interior. So you can see I made the mistake and all the interior ones have changed, which I didn't want. So I'm going to Command Z to undo that, Command Z to undo that one, and actually go into the January one that I want. So on January page, now I can go into it and go picture frame, select that one because that's the one I had. Again, go in here and select that. So that's just changed that January one. So, but if I wanted like dot grid journal that I've got on my one as there, I can now do that on that interior. So how did I do that? So I'm going to go back to the interior and I'm going to get a grid up. And to get a grid up, you go Command apostrophe or Control apostrophe, and it brings up this huge grid. Then you go to View and you go to Grid and Axes, and then you go to Basics. Now, most dot grid journals, they usually are a 1/4 inch big, so I'm going to go for a 1/4 inch. Now, I've actually made a preset for this, which is that dot grid, and to do that you would just click down here and you would create a preset if you haven't already got one, but because I've got one, it's not giving me that option. And as you can see, my grid size has changed. So I use that now so that I can actually draw a dot, an ellipse or a circle. So I go to the ellipse and I draw this out, and I hold Command and Shift down together, and that gives me my size. And then if I let go of my mouse, before I let go of my keys, it actually keeps the same size. So I'm just going to move this down because I want to change the color. So I want the fill to just be black, and then I don't want any stroke on it. So I go on to stroke and I've got none. Okay. I do actually also want to resize that to be a proper size for a dot grid. And I think 0.25 is the best size. 0.25 in inches, and I've changed it down here where the transform is. Now I want to move this up. Now I'm aware that it is about 0.75 on here, so 0.75 and then 0.75. So it might be on, but I can't see, so I'm going to zoom in, use my hand tool, actually drag myself up there, and I can now see that I'm not there. So I'm going to press V on my keyboard, making sure I'm actually on the dot, and then I'm going to again zoom in so I can actually see what I'm doing, and I'm going to move this so that it's in that center. Now I'm going to put this enable transform so that it'll allow me now to move everything plus 0.25 across. So I've clicked back on it, and as you can see, it's gone 0.75. So now I'm going to do a Command J to duplicate another one, and inside the x-axis I'm going to put plus 0.25, and then I'm just going to tab, and can you see that that one's moved across? Now I don't need to do that again. All I need to do is go Command J and just simply carry on creating all these great dots until I get to the end of my document, and I'm not quite there yet. A few more. One more. Right. And I also want to delete. Ooh, it got carried away. Sort of slowed down. Okay, no, we're fine. Now I want to go back to this middle one here. Click on that, delete that, because I don't really want a dot in the middle. Again, I'm going to group all of these. So hold the top one down, hold my shift button down, or should I say click on the top one, hold my shift button down, go all the way down, Command G to group. So that's my first line done. Again, I'm actually going to zoom back in so that you can see that that all goes across. Now again, I'm going to go Command J on that group, and I'm going to come down to the y-axis, and I'm going to press plus 0.25, and I'm going to tab, and again that's brought that line down, and again I'm just going to Command J all the way down until I get to the bottom of that page, which I'm not there yet. Ooh. And I've gone one too many, so because I've got one too many, I just make sure that that one's highlighted and press on the bin, and that will throw away, get rid of my grids on that. So now I can also take the grid off that I've used, so Command apostrophe or Control apostrophe takes off that grid. And now if I go and have a look at one of the other pages, I can actually see I've got grids on those, but I haven't got grids when I go to, say, February. Oh, I have. But what I now need to do is when I go to February, right click, go to Apply Master, change that now to a month tab, and click OK. And then that's changed that, so I can now go back in and change my color. So I want my color picker tool, and I can just select that, and again I can click on that now, and then there we go. So that is how you actually create your digital planner, all the tabs and everything. The only thing we haven't done is we haven't sorted this cover out. So again, I'm actually going to duplicate the month tab and not the interior because we don't want the dots. And I'm going to duplicate that. And this is our cover. Tab on, click. Now, cover. And you could just take the master slide off that and then just do it on that, but I find it easier to do this. So we don't want this picture frame here. Don't know whether I want to keep the tabs. This picture frame that we want to actually move. So I'm going to click on the move tool. I'm going to make sure I'm on that picture frame. And then you can see that when I'm on the picture frame, and I've locked it, so I can't move it. So I need to unlock it. Now it should work. I can actually put that there. And if I wanted to show my tabs, I could put that there. And again, I could take that off and then move my tabs down so that they're underneath. And then that looks different. But now our coils need to also come off. And we now need to add a new coil. So the pack that I've got, this one has actually got a single coil. So again, I just need a new layer just to accept that. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to copy, and then I'm just going to paste. And again, I'm going to move outside that layer because I don't actually want that layer. And I'm going to resize. I know it looks a bit funny when you first start doing that. I'm quite happy with that. And then I'm going to duplicate. So Command J or Alt and drag because I want 20. Remember, 1. Then I'm going to highlight them all, making sure that my last one is at the top and my first one's at the bottom. Then I want to center so I can see that my picture frame's not quite where I want it to be. And then I'm going to distribute and apply. So again, I'm going to go back onto this picture frame and I can see I've come too far that way. And that is now our cover. So I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to apply master to our first page, and this time it's going to be the cover. And I'm going to click OK. And it's not come on. Why is it not come on? Right click, and it's come there. Just took some time. And then I'm just here. I can type out whatever I want, so I can do my planner. And I've got an extra R for whatever reason. I can maneuver that around and put all the dates, put everything that I want to put on. And here on this board here, you can put extra things like post-it notes and things like that. So you could go to the rectangle tool, turn it around a bit, and then to lift it again, put an FX in, put a outer shadow on, or even a 3D, see if the 3D picks it up. So that's not quite right for that. Outer shadow, radius, have it coming down there. There we go. So it sort of like pops off the page. So our final stage is actually to print it out as a PDF. So it's File, Export. I'm going to ignore the pre-flight. And I don't want it for print. I actually want it for digital. You can do small size or you can do high quality. I'm going to go high quality and I'm going to go 192. I also must tell you that sometimes when you do exporting for print on Affinity Publisher, hyperlinks don't work. It does when you do the digital, but if you do the print one, sometimes the hyperlinks don't work. So you need to go to more, and you need to make sure that this button here is clicked, include hyperlinks. And then you click OK, and then you click export. Now this probably will take some time. So test planner. It's just a name, so I can save it and then I can show you how it actually works. So let me just pause while that exports. So this is it. Our PDF has loaded up into Acrobat. We can actually see our different tabs. We can actually see that they actually work. You can click on them now. Because it's loading, you'll see some different flashing things there, but that is what it looks like when we've loaded. You can see that I've still got things that I need to change, but this video would be a full course if I carried on going, and it's not a full course, it's just to basically get you started. So if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well. I teach you how to create low content products like KDP low content books, printables and digital planners using different software. And while you're here, why not go out and check out the rest of my Affinity videos.